let's talk about Chandler Rogers, another quarterback that underrated, perhaps underrated. On three, I believe he's a four-star transfer, which makes a lot of sense. He played very, very well this season. Statistically, he was awesome. And where is he going to? He's transferred from North Texas and he's going to Cal. But a Cal team, a Justin Wilcox team that, had some success in some games with Fernando Mendoza. But I mean, if you watch the bowl game, you're probably not as high on Francis or Fernando Mendoza as maybe, some other people are. I still like Mendoza personally. I thought he elevated that roster more so than what's his name, the big time transfer that's supposed to come in and help Cal, Jackson. Shoot, gosh, I need to be better about name remembering. But Chandler Rogers is a very good quarterback in and of himself. But you also have to remember Cal loses their offensive coordinator, Jake Spavital, talking about former Texas A&M offensive coordinator. He goes to Baylor, coach Dave Aranda there, going back to the state of Texas. So it'll be interesting to see what Cal does at the offensive coordinator spot. But I guess Chandler Rogers believes in himself. I think he believes he can beat out Mendoza. I think Mendoza believes that he can beat out Chandler Rogers. He's not afraid of him. He's won quarterback battles before. So that'll be a really, really, really interesting conversation to have about who's starting in that Cal locker room, uh, at Cal quarterback position, especially because they're moving over to the ACC next year. So we'll see. I think this could end up being a pretty solid move for Chandler Rogers. I like him as a player a lot. What are your thoughts?
I do. The past 2 years, he's been pretty darn good. This year, he took a big time jump, hence the jump into the portal into the Power Five. Yeah, you mentioned Fernando Mendoza. Tough for the kid. I feel for him. He worked really hard. They finished the year off super strong against UCLA, but obviously that bowl game did not look great for him. And I think there's a reason why Chandler Rogers, a very respected, very talented quarterback, coming in the portal, chose Cal because he believes he can come in there, and that staff wants him to come in there and play really, really well for them. He joins a cast of Jeremiah Hunter, who's coming back, I believe, Jaden Ott, another guy, decided to come back in the portal as well.
Yeah, I
It's a
loved
very
his I
interesting.
loved his video. I don't know if you got to see Jay Knott's
Yep.
return video, kind of trolling people. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Cal fans were having a heart attack when he's like, it was a nice little troll video, but he's coming back. He's excited about it. He's phenomenal talent. Phenomenal.
Really good. And they got a couple backs there as well. So I think this is a really good fit. He graded out super, super well on PFF. And I don't think PFF's the end all be all, but his grades were super, super good. He was almost 90, which if you know anything about PFF grades, that's incredible. He's gotten better every year. I believe was he at Louisiana Monroe in 2022?
Yeah, he was. And he moved to North Texas to go with Eric Morris, who I think is a good offensive coordinator. I think people saw the jump that Cam Ward made, from year one at Washington State to year two. And I think they attributed that to Ben Arbuckle and not Eric Morris. But I think Eric Morris is pretty solid. I mean, Chandler Rogers, 3,300 yards, 29 tutters to 5 interceptions. That's a big improvement from what he had at Louisiana Monroe. So that was an offense I think is very beneficial to quarterbacks. So I believe Cal promoted their offensive lineman or their offensive line coach to offensive coordinator. So we'll see. We'll
Run the
see how that
ball,
works
run the
out.
football.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that works out. I wish the best for Chandler Rogers. I think he's very solid. So I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts on Chandler Rogers in the situation that he's putting himself in?
Yeah, if you're Cal, I think you got to be pretty darn ecstatic. I don't think you see many guys like Chandler Rogers picking you in a church portal because I how highly rated he was this year. And on three obviously has a ton of respect for him. I do as well. I know that in the coaching industry they do as well. I think this is a really nice pickup for Cal.